Hey, hello everyone. So today we are going to solve this LeetCode problem 200, which is number of island. The problem is simple. We have a matrix which is m cross n, 2D matrix called as grid, which represents map ones as island and zeros as water. Return the number of islands. So an island is surrounded by water and is formed by connecting adjacent lands horizontally or vertically. So horizontal one, vertical one, and surrounded by zeros is an island. So here, see, we have horizontal ones, vertical one, vertical ones, vertical ones, surrounded with waters. So this is island, which is one. Here we have horizontal ones, vertical ones, and these are surrounded by horizontal and vertical zeros. So island is one. Same goes for this one, and same goes for these two one. So here the output should be 3. So basically, in order to solve this, we have to start from first index position 0, 0, and we have to keep on iterating recursively the horizontal and vertical direction and make all ones to zeros to confirm that the island has been encountered, and such that in order to figure out the next island, we are not taking into consideration the previously encountered island. All right, so let's see how it goes. So basically, in order to iterate this 2D array, we have to have two for loop, and I equal to 0, I is less than grid dot length I plus plus for and j equal to 0, j is less than grid 0 dot length j plus plus for column values. And here we have to check if the encountered grid value this is I j is equal to 1, we are going to do count plus plus, number of island encountered is plus plus, and we are going to call a recursive function which will where we will pass ij and grid array to calculate, and we have to define and count is equal to 0. Count is basically number of island variable, and here we have for loop, and outside for loop we have this method, and here comes void type dfs with input as row and then input as column and then input as 2D grid. This is why it shouldn't return anything to this function. It's just for counting, and if you encountered one, which is assumed to be as one island in this given grid. So the moment we encounter one, we do count plus plus, and we call this DFS method to set all the horizontal and vertical values to be 0. So how do we set this? We should have a boundary conditions as happens to be in a recursion. So the boundary condition is if this row is less than 0 or this row is greater than grid dot length, alright, or this column is less than 0 or this column is greater than or equal to grid 0 dot length, which is also equal to if it is equal to since the indexing happens to be less than the length, so we will check if it is even equal to, we have to return. Alright, so grid is not equal to, it should return, and it should also return if we are encountering the grid row column values to be as 0. So in that case also it will return. And if it's not happening in this way, we will just set the grid of row and rid of column to be as 0, converting all ones to 0. And then we will keep on calling the horizontal and vertical direction, which will eventually happen in this way: row plus 1, comma, column, comma, grid. And we will use the same logic for vertical, for reverse direction, and for column, and for going left side of column index, going vertical direction positive axis, going in vertical direction downward. And so going in all the 4 horizontal and vertical directions and trying to figure out all the one and setting it to 0, and the count is already done for the first island position, and this is how it goes. So let's see, we have okay, so we have row, we have column, and column is less than 0, column is greater than equal to grid 0 dot length, or grid 0 column is equal to 0. Compile error, incompatible types, character, this should be of char type, not integer type. Alright. Okay, we have some more issue, error missing return statement. After this for loop, I have to return this count, which is the number of items. Okay, this has been accepted. Alright, this has been accepted, and so this was how it should have been solved. And okay, so we have to just figure out with the first index position, go horizontally, go vertically, and make all the 1 to zeros, and the count has already been done. At the moment we encounter 1, it is count plus plus, which means the one island is already present. And if we keep on iterating and trying to look for another one, and in this case we figure out that we do have another one, we go on horizontal, we go on negative, we go on up, we go on down, and we make all the ones as 0. But here it is helpful since we already made these 1 to 0, so it won't interfere in counting the second island. So that was the purpose of making all the 1s to zeros the moment when we encounter 1. So this was the solution for LeetCode number of island problem. Thank you everyone. See you.